Ready? Right, we're live. I trust that my computer to do that. Right, welcome back to another Beard Invades. I apologise for the last couple of weeks, but Thomas breaking his wrist, and I was stuck in A&E for 7 hours, so there was no chance at all of getting one out then. So we're back this week, and we're back with Lindsay Murphy. Now, if you haven't seen the stuff that Lindsay produces over on her Instagram channel, then you must be living under a rock, because it is just amazing. I did tell Lindsay earlier on that she, along with another artist that works with metal in this way, is a massive inspiration of mine, and that's why I've been doing these little bits that I've been selling on Etsy and things like that. It's because of people like you and that, Lindsay. So thanks for that. So before we get into it, we'll just have a little look who's in the chat. And guys, by the way, if you want to ask Lindsay a question, and there's got to be some questions out there, start with a capital Q as usual. Put it in the chat, and I'll do my best to see. If not, just keep spamming it. I'll get it eventually. So we've got Peter Corcoran, Tommy's Workshop, Andy H is returning, Stace Makes, Doug Miller. I try to do this as fast as I can, Lindsay, but I just start to make funny noises. Blue Light Turner, National Pouched Rat Society, welcome guys. Who else we've got? Dan, the Sidings Workshop, Circular Wood by Keith, Wayne Bigfoot Woodcraft. Did I say Doug Miller? I didn't I? Tommy's Workshop. And I think, Christine and Michael Hesseltine, Mike, you, the Linnykins. Do you know those?
No.
Evening, the Linnykins. Welcome to my channel. Michael.
I don't
Sorry?
know. Maybe I do. I don't know.
Anyway, welcome everybody. Remember, if you want to ask Lindsay a question, pop a couple of capital Qs the beginning of your question, and I'll do my best to spot them. And again, thanks to the guys that are scrolling across the bottom of the screen, which are my current channel members. Right then. So, Lindsay, how are you doing?
I'm doing well.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
I know we had a little chat earlier. I mean, it's cold here and it's warm there, so I'm a bit jealous. Right. So you've seen how this happens, haven't you? There's nothing too intrusive. We'll be doing it for about half an hour, because I know you've got to go out and do school runs and things like that. So Whitebeard's in. Welcome, Whitebeard. So what we're going to do, for those that are not following you on Instagram, we're going to have a little look at your channel before we do anything. So okay, so this is your channel. You've got 3,501 followers.
Oh wow!
Which is not
well.
That's brilliant. It's always good to see that you've got more followers than following, because sometimes people follow you, and they've got they're following 30,000 people.
Yeah. I can't keep up with that many people.
No. So you're really into this metalworking and jewelry and things like that. And what got you into this? Because I mean, I would say there's some beautiful pieces, but there's a lot of beautiful pieces here.
Thank you. Well, it's funny. Let's see, about 7 years ago, I got into blacksmithing, and I really liked the idea of working with metal and combining kind of like the artistry that I really like, and the kind of like the idea of material science. Like I really like, in college, I took engineering, and so the idea of working with metal and understanding that. And so I got addicted to blacksmithing. And then later on, I ended up getting a heat stroke which is pretty easy to get down here. And
Right.
so I couldn't really work near the forge without just, like losing energy within the 30 minutes and
Yeah.
stuff. So I started getting into copper because I could just kind of heat it with a torch and then just sit in, in my kitchen and kind of start working away. And that's kind of how that started. And then my mom, she used to be a jeweler, and she saw like, oh, you're starting to work with copper and brass. How about I give you all my jewelry making equipment? And so like all this you see right here, my two anvils in the back, they're all from her.
Oh, right. Okay.
And the Fordham I have right there. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's ancient, but it works. And so she gave me a bunch of tools, and that was at the beginning of 2020 is when I got all that. And so pandemic hit, and so I'm like, all right, this is what I'm working on. That's kind of what. So I've been only really doing it for a year.
That's brilliant.
And a half, I guess. 2021 is almost over now.
Yeah, to say that you've only been doing this a short period of time, it doesn't look like you have in your work. It looks like you've been doing it quite a long time. I mean, so did you have any training in the blacksmithing then? Did you go to school for it, or
no? I just
totally self-taught.
Well, I would meet up with a group of blacksmiths in the Houston area, and it's like a hammer-in. Every month we would meet, and there were these two older retired guys, and they were so helpful, and they were kind. They didn't talk down to you or anything, and they helped me a lot. And if I ever messed up something, they would say, well, it's art, it doesn't have to be, exact and things like that. So they're just really positive. They weren't,
artistic license, I think it's called.
Oh yeah, totally. And they're excellent blacksmiths. And so I learned a lot from them. And we'll meet together and we'll do like a historical reenactment of blacksmithing, and they'll invite me in on it. And even though I'm not very good at it, they're excellent, but they're like, we just want to include you. And so they're really great. So they taught me a lot.
Yeah. So as far as the jewelry, you're going from blacksmithing to jewelry was kind of a must, wasn't it, because of the heat? But so how did you learn to do the stuff that you do with copper and etching and things like that? Is that something that your mom's taught you, or
the etching? Oh, so I was following Simply Ornate, and he started doing those etched cards. I think his spades, Ace of Spades.
Yeah.
That was the inspiration. And I have been given a bunch of these brass cards, and I thought, oh, that'd be perfect to start doing acid etching on that. So he was the inspiration, of that. So I just started looking up acid etching, and that kind of took off.
Yeah.
That was huge. I didn't expect it to be that big, and I was away from all of this, and so I wanted to find, I was up in New York for a month, and I wanted to find something that I could still make, but I didn't have all the tools, and so acid etching was actually a really great way to create something and not need a whole lot of tools. So
yeah. I suppose from what I've seen of what you do, like those little tapes, the mixtapes, you did them in one great big sheet, didn't you?
Yeah.
And then scratched them all out, and must have took you ages.
It did. And the other thing is, I tried to do a vinyl cut of it to see if that would be faster, but I didn't like it because it looked too neat and clean, and everything looked the same for the awesome mixtapes. And I was like, no, I'm not going to do that. It just didn't have the handmade look that I wanted.
Definitely not. No, if you'd have done them with vinyl, there would have been you can buy them out of a factory or something, but the way you've done them, each one is is unique. You know, there's no one that's the same. Wayne Bigfoot says the mixtapes were brilliant.
Thanks. I don't have a fail of it though. This one was a fail. So I covered this all with paint. Well, I splashed it with some patina, and I haven't sanded it back.
Yeah,
but this is a fail because some of the way the resist was on there, it gave it a weird look, and so I just didn't like it. But I'll probably use this for something else. So
yeah.
keep an eye out.
Well, it's copper, isn't it? I mean, you can reuse it, for other things. I tried etching once, but I did it with ferric chloride, which I think I've got over there somewhere. And what was it now? Oh, it was nail varnish.
Yeah.
So I painted the nail varnish on it. It worked great.
Yeah.
But okay, so guys, there's no questions coming out. So right, so inspiration. Where do you draw your inspiration? I know you talked about Simply Ornate, but for other things, where do you draw your inspiration from, or is it just pops out of your head, or dreams and things like that?
Right. I mean, I guess from a lot of different things. Like if you guys see my Instagram stories, I usually talk about my inspiration for a lot of those things. Sometimes it just kind of comes to me. Sometimes it's like a TV show I'm watching, or a plant or a tree that I see, and that inspires me to make something that looks sort of this way. Or I don't know. It depends, and I'm just kind of I kind of keep my eyes open and think about things, and sometimes I don't feel inspired at all, and then those are the times when I'm like, I don't like that, but when inspiration hits, it's great. I love it.
Yeah. I have seen your process by looking at your Instagram that you draw pictures and things like that, and then you'll work new things from those pictures, which is a great way of coming up with new ideas.
Oh yeah, I actually have a notebook right here. This is one where I took it out with me on vacation or holiday, I guess. Here's one of the Crinoid Fossil that I did, and that one I actually created. But then I started like drawing out nature things that I noticed. All those.
Oh yeah, that's it. See, this is what I do. I mean, I've got mine here. It's I made this on a live show, and what I do is I have these. I'm not saying the visions, but these things just pop in my mind sometimes. And before I forget about them, because I'm thinking, that'd be a great video, or I have to write them down and draw a little picture. I mean, it works. It's a good way of using that process. We have a question from Dan, the Sidings Workshop. Do you find working with copper a joy? Just asking, as I use copper a lot in my day job.
I mean, let's see. I really like the ease of copper with being able to shape it very easily. Like there's some things I really like about it. It's so malleable. I know when to like stop, moving it and anneal it. Just kind of out of practice. I really like that part about copper. I love all the different kinds of patinas I can get with copper. I love that. I'm not a huge fan of sanding it, or because of the dust gets everywhere. But I mean, those are some of the things I really like about it.
Do you find? So this is something I found when you're cutting copper with your fret saw. I found that if I anneal it first, it is such a hard job to cut it once it's annealed because it's too flexible. Do you find that as well?
Yeah. I usually try not to kneel it too much, but I do find that sometimes the kneeling helps sawing through it. It's kind of like
Right.
a weird balance.
Yeah.
Because I didn't anneal this last one I did, and I noticed certain areas were harder to saw through than other areas. It was really weird. I don't know if that's normal,
Hmm.
or or if it was my saw, or I mean, I don't know. Maybe.
Okay, we've got another question. This is from Wayne Bigfoot Woodcraft. Lindsay, what's your favourite shortbread? Valerie will strangle me for that.
Okay, so Valerie mailed me some amazing, like
Oh,
the best,
yeah.
the best shortbread I've ever had in my life. And my family originates from Scotland, and we absolutely love shortbread, and we have like a family recipe for shortbread, and hers was better than my family's.
It is very good. I've
Yeah.
tried Valerie's shortbread and it was absolutely gorgeous. I think it was, what was it, rosemary, I think,
Mhm.
or was it lavender?
It
It
was
was one of the two.
rosemary. It
It
was
was,
rosemary, and I am a huge rosemary fan, and so that
yeah.
was it was divine. And I asked
I had
for the
to control
recipe.
myself.
I know I ate most of it. I gave some to my family, but
See, I wouldn't have shared it with anybody.
I I gave very small amounts, and I'm like, okay, yeah.
Yeah, Valerie, if you're watching, your shortbread is the absolute best. Um, so get back to Instagram. Why did you decide to use the Instagram platform to start sharing your art and your journey and that? Why not YouTube or Twitter and that sort of thing?
One, I'm not really a video creator. I don't really, I mean, I guess I could learn the skill set and all that, but I really never set out for that. I really set out to actually be more of a visual artist. So when I started my Instagram, I was making a mural, like a very large mural for a library in our local library. And when I was telling people about this, they would ask me, "Where? Oh, so what's your Instagram account?" So I could see the process. And I'm like, I don't have one because I don't care about that stuff. And then this was years ago, and I just don't really like doing what people want me to do. So I
Yeah,
still didn't really start it. But then someone convinced me to finally do it, and so I started that and showing the process. So like laser cutting acrylic donor names for the mural and putting in the LED lights and all this stuff. And I didn't really do stories. I really didn't do any video. It was just purely put a photo up every couple weeks kind of thing. It
yeah,
wasn't very serious. And then, but eventually I wanted to get more serious about my art. And I think my name was different too. It was like Lindsay Murphy artist, or I don't remember. And it just,
hmm,
and so it just kind of fell into like that was the best place to showcase artwork. And I think a lot of artists use Instagram primarily as their way of showing their work. So,
yeah. It's a
and,
great platform for that.
and I didn't know about the maker community online. I have a maker community locally that I know, but I didn't know about like the international presence of the maker community on Instagram and through YouTube and things like that. And so that was such a really exciting thing to start meeting people online. And that's when I really started getting involved and then seeing, oh, people share their processes and we learn from each other. I like that. So that's kind of how it kind of grew from there.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So there's no chance of you going down the YouTube road then?
I I have been asked to do it and I or people have suggested that to me, and knowing how I am as a person, and I don't think that I that would be ever a possibility. Sorry,
Yeah,
people, I just can't. And knowing the comments people have to go through, I'm like, no, that'll
yeah.
break me so much. I'm no way.
There are some real nice people out there that leave nice comments. But then, the more views you get on YouTube, the more idiots you're going to get that think that they're going to try and get some kind of reaction out of you. But YouTube isn't for everybody, and I think you're doing a great job on Instagram. So we won't want to take you away from Instagram. But like I say, I mean, you can chuck a video up, or a small clip up without even editing it, or you can chuck a picture up on Instagram. That's just it's there, isn't it? It's easy.
Yeah.
So what we got coming up? What shall we look forward to? What you're working on at the moment?
Well, so I've got. Let's see. This is like where I keep all my. Coffee bag. This is where I keep all my fossils. And so I collected a lot of fossils. And some really cool fossils that I am excited about making some more. So that's going to be coming around, and I want to get them in before Christmas time.
Yeah, I did see that you were doing some bangles, silver bangles. How much? Yeah.
And that's more custom work, and I'm not taking any more customs for this year because that can just be very time consuming.
Yeah.
For me. But I was given a lot of stones, like a lot of gemstones. So I've got like pieces of malachite.
Oh yeah.
See, these are tiny. But malachite here. I've got rose quartz, and I've got these beautiful. I think these are. Get them out. Like moss agate. It's really hard to see, but they're just gorgeous. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
But they're beautiful, and so I started drawing up some designs I want to do, and this is the stuff I'm learning. I'm still, I'm not, I haven't taken any formal classes, and so I'm just kind of watching what other people do, and kind of figuring out the process just by looking at a piece and like reverse engineering it, and
trial and error.
Yeah, and then just sort of now breaking out the processes, like, okay, first I should do this and this and this, and then I should do, finished piece. So I'm going to be making some more jewelry pieces and things like that, and probably do something fun with the cassette copper. I haven't figured out what I want to do with this piece, but what I like about these sort of things where like the scrap pieces that don't work out, they can turn into something interesting that I wasn't expecting.
Yeah.
And just like bring a new sense of creativity to whatever I'm working on right now. So
Brilliant. So Valerie's blushing, by the way, because it was
excellent. She deserves all the attention for that shortbread, really.
Yes, definitely. So yes, we're talking about jewelry, John. So if you're quick and you notice something on Lindsay's Instagram, you may be able to buy it, and that's the way that you can get your hands on something of Lindsay's is Messenger on Instagram, and then you can talk. Yeah. But I suppose your pieces go very quickly.
Yeah, actually, I still have some skulls left over. So
cool.
So those haven't sold out. But
yeah, they're cool. They're really nice.
They turned out really nice. I was happy with those. But a lot of the other pieces sell too fast.
So the skulls.
Those are recent. The skulls, I think.
Yeah, they're right at the top, aren't they?
Yeah. Yeah, right there.
There we go. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you've got some of these for sale still?
Yeah, just the dog tag ones. Everyone got the cutout skulls.
They are really cool. I like them.
Thanks. Yeah, those are like keychains, or they can be like
So guys,
chains. Yeah.
if you want one, you know where to go.
Mhm.
Okay, shall we have a little tour of your shop? Is that all right?
Yes, yes,
Excellent.
please. That'd be great.
And the reason, guys, the reason we do this is if you want to try something, or you want to, if Lindsay's inspired you to do something, you can kind of see the tools you're going to need and the space you're going to need. You just need to learn the skill.
So, yeah, so I'm gonna see how this works. This is my laptop, but let's see. Oh, okay, turn you around. First, you need drawings of kids' drawings there. Okay, so I've got a wide range of hammers. I've got like a leather mallet, different various hammers for different textures. As we talked about the saws, different. This I use for soldering. Oh, sorry. These kind of pieces to handle the small little bits of solder that like to fly everywhere. I love this little tiny vise right there. That's handy. Oh. Now this gets a little tricky. So a lot of files I use. Tiny files to get into all the little spots. I even have like a dental picks. I've got some stamps that I actually haven't used. This would also be a new project I'm using. And then right here, I use this area a lot. This is my Fordham. And that's like has a little carving tool on it right now at the moment. I have a little pocket reference book that I will go to on occasion. Different sanding, polishing bits. You can see right here.
They're great. Those little cupboard drawer things.
Oh, these are fantastic, and they hold all sorts of things. I've got like my fossils in here that are finished and ready to be used. I've got some amethyst beads, scraps of silver. This is my acetylene tank that I use. It's not oxyacetylene. It's just acetylene. It's very old, but I took it and they checked it out and make sure I wasn't going to blow myself up, and runs fine. And they were great. So we have like in Houston, we have a lot of that kind of stuff around here. So because of the oil and refinery stuff.
Right.
This is all my metal that I have. A lot of silver, bits of copper and brass, some like old tubing, like random bits, like even like my dad gave me like solid brass door pulls. I don't know how I'm going to use these, but he's like, I just found this laying around. So a lot of times people give me their junk or what would be just tossed, and I can hopefully find some new life for it. Oh, I've got some silverware that people gave me.
Oh, cool.
Look at this ladle. I want to use this shape for something. I just think this would be so cool to use. Oh, speaking of these things, and then like someone gave me these brass like hotel keychains. Oops. Isn't that cool?
What's that? Kansas
City and Hotel. I have no idea. But I just like the look of it. Yeah. Just trying to figure out. A lot of times what I'll do is I'll just let it sit. I'll just put you guys here. Here's my anvil. This one is a Swedish anvil. It's smaller than my other one. I forget the name of this one. But I use this only for non-ferrous metals. So I don't mix up anything like steel would go on this anvil. So this is my blacksmithing anvil. This is a Peter Wright anvil. It's about 185 pounds. I made the anvil stand for it. So, but a bunch of railroad ties, and then I cut through so it could just sit, nestle in, and doesn't rock or anything. It's great. And then this is primarily the only hammer I really use when I blacksmith. I know a lot of people have multiple hammers, but I find like a good 2-pound hammer does pretty much what you want. And the peen on this is pretty wide. So if I want to do like a finer texture, I use a sharper peen, which, talking about very cheap tools, this is from like this peen I love. And this is like probably like blacksmiths have given me a really hard time using this one. They don't like it. They always are like, you shouldn't be hammering with this. And it does really good work, so whatever. And a ball peen.
Right.
So, and this is my patina area and my pickling area where I pickle things. So these are like really old crock pots I don't use anymore for food. You don't want to use it for food afterwards. This I just use for copper and brass. This I use for silver. This I picked up at like Target for $15. It was like a really cheap slow cooker and coffee. So, and Stace, I have your little, I don't know, cool. Shrunken head keeping me watching over my pickling pots. And it just sits there looking over everything. And then also I have prickly sauce. He sent me that loft. He made like some posters. And this is my forge that I got this year. And it's a double burner forge. Here's my propane tank. And it's just sort of like a really cheap welding table I picked up at Harbor Freight. And
my son's got something very similar to that, actually.
Oh, yeah. And this is Devil Forge. I think it's like out of the Czech Republic. And the directions were okay. But it's pretty affordable. And it's great. It heats up so fast. And bandsaw, grinding stuff. And here's my tool bench with a bunch of stickers. There's all the maker stickers. And I still need to add more. And Dremel.
Cool.
And drill press. Sorry, it's starting to get sort of. It's my drill press. And a pencil sharpener. So that's about it. I don't really use the drill press a whole lot anymore because I'm so do such small work. But on occasion I have used the drill press for the awesome mixtape, like the big.
We cut these centers out. Yeah. All right. Okay.
I had like 15 people messaging how I did it wrong.
Oh, right.
It was like a late night thing, and I wasn't just thinking. And I knew what I did wrong.
But maybe you did something wrong. But did it turn out brilliantly? Yeah, it did.
Well,
so
I did have to scrap the piece, though. I think I put it right here. There's the mess up. I should put that with my other mess up.
So do you recycle a lot? I mean, I noticed your materials box, it's similar to what I've got over there. It's like offcuts, bits of pipe, and like the things that your dad gave you, the copper.
And then I keep even when I cut things out, I'll put them all in here. And eventually and obviously this is not even a normal container. I don't know what this is from, but I just grabbed it. I'm like, oh, this will work. And I just don't throw things away. Unfortunately, it's not always a good thing. But eventually I want to start casting, and so I've
Well,
been keeping things there so I can cast. Yeah.
that actually leads up to Doug Miller's question.
Mhm.
Do you cast some of the metals or redesigning the form it comes in?
Oh, I do have. So I was given a lot of these little crucibles.
Oh, okay.
So what you do with this, and there's also this thing, which I have not used yet, but eventually I want to figure it out and not kill myself or burn myself really badly. Oh God, this heavy. It's heavy, but it's okay. So what happens is you stick the crucible in here like that,
Right.
and this thing right here, it's like spring loaded, and you spin it around, and then you let it go, and it releases.
Oh.
And it will. You heat your metal in it, and then you let it go, and it spins, and it shoots the metal, the molten metal goes.
So centrifugal force,
Yes.
force it into the mold, I'd imagine.
Yeah.
Oh, so you've got to make the mold first,
Mm-hmm.
pour it in, and then, oh, that makes sense.
It's it's a big process, and so I go to a makerspace, and I was just talking with one of the guys there, and he's very familiar, like he's done all this stuff, and he's really well versed in a lot of stuff. And so I was chatting with him, and I think he'll probably set me up with something, and we'll work through making a couple of things together, I guess. But I don't foresee that happening. It might not happen now, but it might happen early next year.
That'd be really cool, though, if you can master that. That'd be cool. Because
Yeah.
that looks really old as well, doesn't it?
A lot of the stuff I have is really old. I mean, it's nice. It's very nice. Like that's the thing I'm very appreciative over. Like everyone asks me about my Fordham, and I'm like, I don't know if you can even find them like this because it's probably a 30-year-old Fordham, but it still works.
Yeah.
And I don't know if they make them like they used to, kind of thing. So,
probably not, to be honest. Probably not. Probably all plastic inside now.
Right.
So let's. I mean, we've gone 7 minutes over. So,
sorry, guys.
But we can carry on as long as you're happy. We can carry on, and as long as people are happy.
Is everyone asleep?
So I've got to just look a couple more questions.
Sure.
The envelopes that you've been making.
Oh yeah.
They are really popular, aren't they? I mean,
they are.
So what gave you? Where did you? That idea.
I know. Let's see. It was last year. I was following a artist, jeweler, who makes amazing, intricate, like movable jewelry pieces. Elm Harris, and she.
Pam Harris.
Elm Harris.
Okay.
ELMHARRIS.
Okay.
And she does more like flowers and things like that. But I believe she did make an envelope a long time ago. I don't even know if that's where I saw it, but I get my inspiration from her.
Okay.
And also from Emily Joyce. She was creating paper and fold forming paper, and so like kind of getting those inspirations. Like then I was wanting to create a birthday gift from my sister. And so I thought, oh, it'd be fun to kind of write a little message to her and etch it on brass, or I don't even remember what I did. And then I made a little envelope, and it's really different than what I make now. But I made that for her and kind of put like I think I messaged her and I said, "What's your favorite saying?" Like a really weird question to ask someone. And so she sent me back. She had no idea what I was doing, so I etched it onto the little letter that went into the envelope. So what I really like about those is that you can personalize them for whoever, and it's just a nice little gift to give someone.
Yeah, definitely. They're really nice. I like them. Okay, so do you have any shout outs that you want me to put in description?
Oh, oh no, I forgot to do.
Uh,
Let's see, who have I been like really inspired by lately? Oh,
I
you know,
should
I've
have
been,
warned you about this, shouldn't I, really?
yeah. No, it's okay. I'm just kind of going through who I've been like looking at their work lately. Um,
Well, while you're doing that, we've
yeah.
got Glass, Driftwood Turner. It says, I've learned so much from the Instagram and YouTube community. So many amazing creative people from all over the world have taught me so much. Oh, definitely agree with you there. Is it Gaz? Yeah, Gaz. Gaz Glass. I get so much inspiration from Instagram, YouTube, and
Oh, yeah.
TikTok. Right.
I was thinking of someone, and then okay, and okay. So this person, she doesn't have a huge following, but I just love her work. She shows a lot of her process. So if you are wanting to get into this sort of work, she's a great person to follow because you can see step by step on all her processes. And what I like about her jewelry is it's really creative and it's really out there. And it's just it's cool. And her name is Marta, and her Instagram handle is Antimetria, Antimetria, and it's just following along in her stories. I really like, and then she has some really great reels where she shows how she makes things, and she makes her own tools. Like she started making some of her own tools, and
Cool.
yeah,
I'm just looking now. What's the picture on a
Antimetria. It's all one word. I'm probably saying it wrong.
anti is what's the picture? Is it a skull?
No, it's
No.
it's a fret saw that she's holding up.
Oh,
It is a
right.
picture of a fret saw.
Okay.
Of
Well,
Angie,
if you want to,
a fret saw that she's holding up.
yeah. Oh,
It is a
right.
picture of a fret saw.
Okay. Well,
Angie.
it's all right. That was my yeah.
It's weird hearing my voice sent back to me.
Yeah. If you send me a link, I will pop it in the description of this. So, guys, if you want to check her out, go back later and have a look. Right, we're pretty much there. So,
Yeah.
do you think you're going to be coming over this way to Maker Central next year?
I would love to come, and I think I just need to like get my passport all settled. It's been a long time since I've traveled internationally.
Yeah.
So I would love to come, and a lot of people have extended an invitation to come, and so I feel like if I did go, it would be like a really welcoming event, and I
Yeah.
have so many friends over there, so it would be a fun time.
I think you'd love it. I mean, it's I mean, the Maker Central itself, there's so many people there. And you get to actually meet the people that you're talking to online halfway across the world.
Yeah.
Which is brilliant. It's great. I love it. Okay, so that's it. You've successfully survived a Beard Invades, and you've done a great job.
Thanks. Well, thank you for the invitation.
No, you. I mean, I've been trying to get you on for ages, and I think you were really busy. I mean,
Yeah.
It was earlier on in the year. I think I asked you, wasn't it? But
Oh yeah,
still.
I was swamped. I feel like, but I think what happens is that I'm just always swamped.
Yeah.
New state of being.
Right. So thanks very much for coming on. Thanks
Thank
to everybody that came in to the chat and gave your questions. So if you're not following Lindsay, the link is in the description. I'll put the link to the shout out as well in the description when we've finished. And I'll see you all Tuesday, where I'm not sure what I'm doing live Tuesday, but I'll figure something out. So cheers, Lindsay. Thank you very much. And we'll see you all soon.
All right. Have a good night.